Argentina. Around then, Morales was elected president, Evo Morales, in December of 2005. Correa in Ecuador the following year. So that, and the economic situation as well. The price of oil increased during those years. So Chavez had several things going for him, which Nicolas Maduro, who's been president since 2014, has not had going for him, in the sense that shortly after Maduro was elected president, around that time, the price of oil nosedived. And not only did that occur, and of course the Venezuelan economy has always been very dependent on the price of oil, going back to the 1920s when in 1928, Venezuela became the world's leading exporter of oil. Whenever the price of oil goes up, whoever is in power is blessed with a situation of political and social stability. When the price of oil declines, the reverse happens. So this is a constant in Venezuelan history. So the price of oil declined sharply in 2015, beginning in August of 2015. So that's one thing that Maduro, the current president, has going against him. But the second thing is what I just mentioned. The pink tide, the progressive governments in Latin America, partly because of Chavez, there was a sense of solidarity and unity, so that when countries faced difficult situations, there was a sense of unity and solidarity among those countries. So that, for instance, in 2002, 2003, there was a general strike that was really not a general strike. It was a lockout. The difference being a general strike is when workers go on strike. The lockout is when the business sector closes the gates, and whether the workers want to work or not, they don't have any choice. And this is exactly what happened in 2002, 2003. And Lula, president of Brazil, provided aid to Venezuela. Venezuela was actually importing gasoline. Imagine a oil-producing country having to import gasoline. So that this sense of solidarity and unity strengthened Chavez's position. Now the situation in Venezuela is just the opposite. You have, one country after another going to the right. Colombia now with the recent election of Duque, going from the right to the ultra-right, Santos to the party of Uribe, Piñera in Chile, whose party, all their leaders supported Pinochet in the elections in the late 80s, and the other party that supported Piñera was Pinochet's party. So the two parties that supported Piñera were Pinochet's supporters. So that's definitely a right-wing country. Brazil, with Temer, Macri in Argentina. So that the political environment in Latin America is definitely working against Nicolas Maduro. So the situation has changed radically from the time that I spoke, the times that I spoke here at Boston University 10 years ago, and the situation today. And not only have they changed radically in terms of the economic situation with the price of oil and the political situation with other countries in Latin America, but they've changed with regard to the most important country in the hemisphere, and that is the United States. The United States government has opposed the Chavistas in power almost from the beginning. I say almost from the beginning because when Chavez was elected president, the ambassador, John Maisco, assumed the position that the United States should give Chavez a chance. But by that he meant give Chavez a chance to demonstrate that he's really not all that radical. And not everybody in the Clinton administration supported that position. the Undersecretary of State, Peter Romero, stated, Chavez is testing our patience. And he said, us gringos, and that's the term that he used, we have limited patience talking about Chavez. So there was a discrepancy within the Clinton administration with regard to Chavez, but relations between the United States were fairly decent for the first couple of years. And that changed in late 2001, when Chavez, in a speech that he gave, stated, and Chavez incidentally was very courteous, was very discreet with regard to relations with the United States. And he said, with regard to the US bombing of Afghanistan, he said, look, the United States is a sovereign nation, and we respect what the United States does. That's the United States' business. We respect that, but not this. And he pointed to pictures of the victims of the bombings of Afghanistan. So he wasn't aggressive, he just stated that Venezuela was opposed to the bombings. And immediately, the United States, this is now under the Bush administration, withdrew the ambassador. I think it was the head of the